You will need gems in order to get Kraster. You're going to need a minimum of around 150 gems, 150 to 200 gems. So I want to start off with the video because yes, you will need gems for this event. Hey everyone, it's Noamori Gaming. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. The Krasters Tales Challenge is finally here, and so in this video I'm going to tell you guys exactly how to get this monster, what do you need to do, how many gems you need to spend, and all of that good stuff. So let's exit out of here and let's click on the Tales Challenge. So first and foremost, hopefully you collected 25 tokens. It was pretty easy to collect 25 tokens. Man, I wish you could click and hold, but yeah, you click on this 25 times and you will unlock the Kraster avatar. It's always been like this. So the tokens is just to get the avatar and let you participate in the event. So I'm gonna click collect and now we can start on the actual event. So this key is super important because you can use this to get additional cells. For example, if you go to shop and you go to packs and you click on the little chest icon, if you scroll to the right, where is it? Right here, Kraster Tales Challenge. You can get 5 cells for every 5 additional tokens that you have. I don't know how many I have this time. I didn't really try. I didn't really care for getting additional cells. Yes, Kraster's a good monster, but personally, I don't think he's a monster I'm really going to be maining because I'm not going to bother in ranking him up. I think there's better monsters to rank up. Social Point has been releasing some really good monsters. I want to rank up Lindworm. I'm going to want to rank up Black Feather, Manipulate. So Kraster's not a monster I'm really going to devote time into, because I also have other attackers I can focus on. But with that being said, if you want to rank them up, that's totally on you. So let's talk about this event. How does the Tales Challenge work? Basically, as of right now, I have 3 days and 21 hours in this event. Okay, that's important. The timer on the top left-hand corner, that is your individual timer depending when you started the event. And this is important because the way this event works is that you have to log in 8-hour intervals in order to maximize the number of items you can get. And at the end of this, I will link you guys to a video where I do step-by-step in case whatever I say in this video doesn't make sense. Step-by-step, I also provide pictures and proof that this monster is obtainable for as little as 150 gems. To be honest, if you have like a perfect collection, you can get this monster for 120 gems, but that involves no buffer and like you are just on it, on the dot. So let me just start off. Every 8 hours. So when you first play the event, you can already start getting your items. So this is the first time I'm logging in. I'm going to click fight. I am just going to easily win this real quick. Here, auto this, double show, awesome. So the fight, you actually can do this every 2 hours. So this one, do not wait every 8 hours. You can do this every 2 hours. So log into the game and do that. That's fine. Everything else, though, does take 8 hours. So collect all is easy. It's just kind of like a maze. We'll click here, especially if there's a mini maze or something that happens to go on. You could actually do 4-hour logins and that's fine. You'll just get half the amount you normally would get. But here, I'm going to demonstrate the full amount right now. Let me collect. And then let me go over here. Let me feed my monster. There's my +4. And then let me collect gold again. And there's my +6. And that is the maximum amount. I can get 6 collect gold items, 4 feed your monster items. And honestly, that's what matters. The hatch egg, I don't even care for. So with that being said, collect gold and feed your monsters. You get 6 and 4 every 8 hours. If there is a maze going on and you need to log in every 4 hours, then you would get half the amount. So you would get 3 collect gold items and 2 feed your monster items. I hope that makes sense. Here, let me exit out. I might as well do the hatching one. So to do the hatching one, you first need to put a monster into your hatchery, and then you need to hatch something. So let me place this monster right here. And there we go. I got my maze coins. I got my hatch egg right there. So see, 1 out of 4. And there we go. I did a perfect collection. So I would come back in 8 hours when the timer says 3 days and 13 hours, or more importantly, just put a timer on your phone, on your watch, whatever device you have. Put an actual timer so that you know when to come back into the game and play. The cool thing about progressive events, because it's 8-hour intervals, realistically you only log in 3 times a day, right? If you wake up at 8 a.m. and then you play later at 8 plus 4 at 4 p.m. and then let's say you play at, like, even if you can't do a full 8-hour login, that's fine. If you do 6 hours later and you play at 10 p.m. before going to sleep, and then 8 hours later when you wake up, like, that's kind of how this event works. It's kind of nice, to be honest. You're not playing as often as you are with the maze or other events. So now that I've done that, the important thing is, okay, Armor, now what? When do I skip? When do I do all of that? So there is an optimal time that you skip to pay gems in order to move on to the next node. And by the way, when you move on to the next node, that is when you can start collecting. So if I was to pay 150 gems right now, I could start getting the 30 cells. Before that, though, I should mention that right now we have the Henrich event, and it is the Henrich Frat event. So some of you might want to start breeding Henrich. I know I'm going to start breeding Henrich. I really want this monster. So let me actually do that in this video just to prove to you guys that I am honest about that. Mr. Beast and Hardy, if for those of you that have the Golden Legends Pass. So let me sort by that. Hardy and Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is probably down here somewhere. Alright, and start breeding. It's gonna be, this is the timer for a legendary or a mythic. 1 day, 21 hours, 59. It never changes, it's always the same. And then the other combination, let me see what the other combination is. The other combination is Tremor and Slugazoid. See, Slugazoid did come in handy. So Tremor and Slugazoid. Let's find them. Tremor, I found Slugazoid. Where is my Tremor? Tremor level 15. And Slugazoid right here. Breed, again, it's going to be the 1 day, 22 hours. Oh, what the heck? Oh yeah, 1 day, 22 hours. If I activate my Guardian, it's going to be 9 days, 11 minutes, which I will activate it later. There's no point in activating it now. I'll activate it 9 hours from now. Okay, cool. So you might be wondering, but Armor, you just clogged up your hatchery, or you clogged up your breeding space. What the heck? That's fine. To be completely honest, take a look at this picture. This is from the Urkins challenge, and as you can see, on the left-hand side, Breed Your Monsters was at 4 out of 6, and on the right-hand side, Breed Your Monsters was at 2 out of 6. Everything else was the same. Collect Gold was 28, Feed Your Monsters was 19, and look at the cost difference. It was 3 gems difference. So it is going to cost you a little more if you can't do the breeding and the hatching, but that's totally fine. It's not a big major difference. Now, if you have your Camella on and it's only 9 hours, and maybe you gem once or twice just to speed up that, you will get like 1 or 2 breeding your monster items. So yeah, you can, it's not too bad if you can't breed or hatch. Don't worry, the most important thing is the collecting gold and the feeding your monsters. Alright, so this is from the Monster Legends Guide Discord. There's going to be a link in the description. I definitely recommend you join this Discord. So much useful information. But with that being said, let's focus on the Kraster's Tail event. As you can see, on the left-hand side it says on sale 20, on sale 30, on sale 50. And then on the right-hand side, it tells you exactly how many gems to use and when to use it. Now notice the gems to use, that will vary based on whether or not you were able to do all the collections. As I already mentioned, we have a breeding event, so maybe you don't have all of your breeding items or the hatching items. That's totally fine. As long as it's within that 30 mark, for example, for the 20 cells, I think you're fine. So, assuming you are able to do every single collection, the 6 out of the 6 collect gold items, the 4 feed your monster items, the hatching items, then check this out. You're going to use 32 gems at 0 days and 16 hours. So after 16 hours from the event has passed, that is when you're going to use it. So this first collection doesn't count, right? 8 hours from now, that's a collection, and then 8 hours from then, that's a collection. That's a total of 16 hours. It's going to cost 32 gems. And then immediately after that, you start on the 30 cells, and then you do your collections, and in 1 day and 8 hours, which is 4 total collections, right? That's when it's going to cost, what's it going to cost? 45 gems. And then you do your collection on the 50 cells, and then it's going to cost in 1 day and 16 hours, which is 5 collections, after the initial collection, so a total of 6 collections, you're going to spend 70. So again, if this doesn't make sense, I have a whole video step by step explaining everything, but just to prove that these accounts are valid and this is legit, I have pictures from previous events. So check this out. This is from the Rah Avis challenge, and as you can see, I have 18 out of 29 collect gold items, I have 12 out of 16 feed your monster items, I have 3 out of 4 hatch your eggs items. That means I did 3 full collections. Notice the timer says 3 days and 15 hours, which is 16 hours after the event has passed. Sorry, 3 days and 5 hours, and look, it only costs 32 gems for 20 cells. And then check out this photo right here for the 30 cells. This one cost me 46, and look at that. 30 out of 44 collect gold. Feed your monsters is 20 out of 24, so that's 5 logins. Notice the breed your monsters, I missed one, but that's okay. There's only a 1 gem difference between what the sheet says and this says. And then for the last one, for the 50 cells, look at my buffer. I still had 4 hours. If I wanted to, I could have discounted it a little more, but obviously I'm gonna be asleep. I wouldn't be able to play. That's why I use this one. I think a 4-hour buffer is perfect. So it cost me 71 gems. Collect gold was 36. Feed your monsters was 24. So that means I did 6 full collections. But you notice hatch eggs isn't 6 out of 8. It's only 4 out of 8 because there was some other event going on. But as you can see, if you add up all of those amounts, it's around 150. So it's only going to cost you, it should realistically cost players around 150. And I think that's fine. 150 for a guaranteed cosmic mythic? Yes, especially a good one like Kraster. Yes, you definitely have to get this monster. And again, there is going to be a link in the description. The thumbnail of the video looks like this. If you see this thumbnail, the link in the description, this is the video that shows you step by step. So if everything I said didn't make any sense, you can just reference this video. It is a step by step of me moving and collecting my coins, and you'll see what I mean. by doing initial collection and then 8 hours later. Sometimes I would do 4 hours later, sometimes 2 hours later, just to do that fight node. So I hope this video makes sense. Please go out there, get yourself your Kraster. It's 100% possible. I know you can do it. Not only that, you could also breed Henrich and hopefully get Henrich as well. So with that being said, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I really hope this video was helpful. And if not, let me know in the comments if you have any questions whatsoever. And remember to subscribe.